Yes, I'm live now. Welcome once again to another new video. This is Santu Sahu and you are watching Sahu's tutorial. Good evening everyone. Do join quickly. And in this YouTube session, I'll be discussing some PYQs of KSET, Karnataka State. Yesterday I also discussed 26 questions probably. And in this session, I will be also discussing the previous year questions along with explanations and some references as well. Okay, good evening everyone. Do join quickly. I think this PDF is clearly visible to everyone and you can also hear me. I am also audible to everyone. So without wasting your precious time, let's begin the session. And here is your first question on your screen. You can answer in the comment box as well. You can watch this session later. It will be available in the live session, in the live section as well. So let's begin here. And this is my humble request to all the aspirants. Please make sure to subscribe the channel and tap the bell icon to get more notification so that you get the notification in the upcoming videos. So here the first question, that the novel Ulysses ends with the interior monologue of Molly Bloom, the soliloquy of Leopold Bloom, the ruminations of Stephen Dedalus, a street scene in Dublin. So here 27, the novel Ulysses is actually ending with the interior monologue of Molly Bloom. This is the end. In the end of the novel, we find that there is the monologue of Molly Bloom, and Molly Bloom is focusing on the day of the Bloom. That is, Bloom had proposed to her. That is the interior monologue of Molly Bloom. Next question. The epigraph in the poem, that is the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock, is taken from Le Forgue, Baudelaire, Dante, Horace. The love song of J. Alfred Prufrock, the famous poem by T.S. Eliot, and this epigraph, the epigraph for this work has been taken from Dante. It is Dante's Inferno. From which part? Dante's Inferno. So we all know Dante's Divine Comedy. Here, the Divine Comedy, there are three parts, that is Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso. So here, from the first part, Inferno is the first part, and the epigraph has been taken from Dante's Inferno. Okay. Now next question, question number 29 here. Big Brother is watching you. You all know this is the important character from 1984 novel, that is dystopian novel by George Orwell. This famous caption in the novel 1984 points at the following features of an authoritarian society. Okay, here the loss of personal freedom, then the invasion of privacy, the fear of surveillance, the fear of persecution. Question is that points at the following features of an authoritarian society. Okay, all these things actually. This 1984 dystopian novel is actually featuring the loss of personal freedom, the invasion of privacy, the fear of surveillance, the fear of persecution, all of. So here all the four are correct. So C is the right answer. Okay, chalo. And this novel was published in 1980 or 1948, 1949. Chalo. So which of the following is not a postmodernist writing? Pastiche, linear narrative. Then you have that is mixing of genres and multiple narratives. Tell me. So I told that 1984 novel was published in 1949. Okay, this 1984 dystopian novel was published in 1949. Chalo. So here is a postmodernist, which is not a feature of postmodernist writing. Okay, postmodernist writing is actually there is the usage of pastiche. There is it is actually a mixing of genres, and multiple narratives can be also found. But linear narrative is not a feature characteristics of postmodernist. Good evening, Jagdish. So linear narrative is not a feature of postmodernist writing. Okay, linear, it is actually non-linear. Postmodernist writing is actually non-linear. Now you should also know what is pastiche. Pastiche kya hai? This is an important concept. Pastiche is actually when you are trying to imitate, okay, others' work. It is not about you are mocking, rather you are praising. Okay, you are praising, you are paying homage to others work when you are imitating. That is pastiche. But pastiche is a feature of postmodernist writing, mixing of genres, multiple narratives. These are all zoom. Okay, zoom to kiya hai. Okay, now okay, chalo. So it is linear narrative, it is actually non-linear narrative होता था. ठीक है, चलो. Now 31, The Spy Who Came In From the Cold is a novel by Frederick Forsyth, John Le Carre, Ian Fleming, Dan Brown. Okay, so this is actually this The Spy Who Came In From the Cold is a novel. This is actually a spy novel. This is a spy novel, and this is written by John Le Carre. This is a spy novel. It is written by John Le Carre. Okay, here the Alec is the British protagonist. Here Alec is the British agent. Okay, is the British agent here. Okay, in this novel, The Spy Who Came in the From the Cold is a novel by John Le Carre, where Alec is the British agent. Harold Pinter's The Birthday Party is called expressionist play, comedy of intrigue, comedy of manners. Okay, easy one, very easy. Birthday Party is actually uh, called a comedy of maniac. It's an example of comedy of maniac. Chalo. Identify the right pair. Okay, now you have A.S. Bat, Ibn Uwa, Muriel Spark, Alan Sirito. Okay, so A is exactly Jagdish. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Here is question number 33. So you all know that A Clockwork Orange is a dystopian novel by whom? It's by Anthony Burgess, isn't it? It's by Anthony Burgess. Whereas The Golden Notebook, who wrote The Golden Notebook? The Golden Notebook is by Doris Lessing. It's a work by Doris Lessing. Whereas Possession is actually a work, Possession, a romance, is a work. This is the subtitle of this work, Possession, a romance. It's a work by A.S. Bat. ठीक है. So whereas Muriel Sprague has written this work, The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie. So here C is the right answer. Got it? So Alan Silito is actually one of the angry young men along with John Osborne. Remember that. ठीक है? So A.S. Bad has written a romance, that is Possession, a romance, whereas Evelyn O, the Golden Notebook is written by Doris Lessing. A Clockwork Orange is a dystopian novel by Anthony Burgess. And Alan Silito is actually angry young man. Okay, one of the angry young men. Chalo. Identify the wrong pair. Here is question number 34. The wrong pair. Harold Pinter, Christopher Fry, Tennessee Williams, and Arnold Wesker. Okay. Chalo. The Caretaker is by Harold Pinter. Christopher Fry, The Lady Is Not Burning, that is also true. Tennessee Williams, A Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, this is also a right pair. Whereas Arnold Wesker has not written The Entertainer. The Entertainer is actually a work by whom? It's a work by John Osborne. Okay, just a minute. Let me come. This is a work by John Osborne. Okay, so it's a work by John Osborne. Arnold Entertainer is a work by John Osborne. ठीक है? It's a work by John Osborne. Now चलो. Now here is an important concept. Chicago School actually, they were not accepting the views of new criticism. They were also known as neo-Aristotelian. What? Chicago School of Criticism. The proponents are also known as what? They are also known as neo-Aristotelian school. Okay, they were against the views of new criticism. So they are going back to the principles of Aristotle. So Chicago School or Neo-Aristotelian School, actually R.S. Crane, Eldar Olson, Wen C. Booth, Norman Maclean. Okay, they were all known as the Neo-Aristotelian critics. Those are against the views, the principles of new criticism. Here D is the right answer. Chalo. Now 36. Literature, there is an assertion reason question. Literature reflects reality. Literature must be the outcome of social reality. Literature reflects, it's because literature must be the outcome of social reality. Both A and R are true and is the correct explanation of A. Both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation. A is true, but R is false. A is false, but R is true. Here, literature reflects reality. True. Literature must be the outcome of social reality. Must be the outcome. Yeah. So it's actually both A and R true, and R is the correct explanation. Which of the following terms was not coined by Mikhail Bakhtin? Okay, heteroglossia, या कार्निवेलक्स, डायलॉजिज्म, इंटरपोलेशन, इनमें से कौन सा टर्म्स? एग्जैक्टली जगदीश, गॉट इट. You all know heteroglossia, carnivorex, dialogism, all these terms, glossia, carnivorex and dialogism, are coined by Mikhail Bakhtin, whereas interpolation is a work, okay, is a term that was coined by Louis Althusser. Okay, Louis Althusser had coined interpolation. It's not by Mikhail Bakhtin. Eliot described Hamlet as an artistic failure. Why? Why did he describe Hamlet as an artistic failure? It is too lengthy, it is sentimental, Shakespeare failed to find an objective correlative, or Shakespeare deviated from tradition. So it is actually in which book? Hamlet and his problems. Here is question number 38. So name of the book where he has given this concept, Hamlet and his problems. Hamlet and his problems. So here he is saying that Shakespeare failed to find an objective correlative. Okay, so that's why Hamlet as an artistic failure. So here C is the right answer. Chalo. C, exactly Jagdish. Dash is not included in A.R. Levy's novelist of the Great Tradition. Okay, so A.R. Levy has written the novel called The Great Tradition, published in 1948, where he has included 4 writers as a great novelist. Who is not one of them? First writer we have Jane Austen. Jane Austen. Then we have Joseph Conrad. We had Joseph Conrad. Okay, we have as well Henry James. We have Henry James, and we have George Eliot. Exactly. Exactly. So it's D.H. Lawrence is not a part of great tradition. George Eliot, Charles Dickens, even he had also included Charles Dickens, except except hard times he had except hard times he had praised all the works. No, no, he had only defended the work hard times. Hmm. He had criticized all the works of Charles Dickens except hard times. So here D.H. Lawrence is the no, it is that's why D.H. Lawrence was also there. No, it should be Charles Dickens. Okay, it should be Charles Dickens because no, D.H. Lawrence was successor. D.H. Lawrence was successor. Okay, so D.H. Lawrence is in that category, but the prime example are actually Joseph Conrad, ठीक है, Henry James, George Eliot, but Charles D.H. Lawrence was a successor. So here Charles Dickens is not. C is the Jagdish. It's C is the right answer because he had criticized all the works of Charles Dickens. Only the work that he had not criticized was Hard Times. So in that case, okay, we are going with Charles Dickens is not included of the great tradition. Okay, so Charles Dickens is the right answer. It's not D. Lawrence. D. Lawrence is the successor. No. It's C. It's C. Charles Dickens. Chalo. In subaltern studies, the subaltern is any oppressed individual, only the colonized, Dalit individual, one who is not represented in history. Subaltern studies, you know, Gayatri, okay, Gayatri Chakraborty Spivak sometimes. Then we have Deepesh Chakraborty, subaltern studies, Ranjit Guha, ठीक है, Ranjit Guha, Deepesh Chakraborty, Ranjit Guha, Deepesh Chakraborty, Gayatri Chakraborty Spivak. Here, subaltern studies, the subaltern is any oppressed individual, only the colonized, one who is not represented in the history. Yeah, actually what happened, they have given both the answer, any oppressed individual as well and one who is not represented in history. Okay, so A and D are right answer. Okay, A भी होगा D भी होगा, जिसने जिसने A किया था उसको भी नंबर दिया गया और जिसने D किया था उसको भी नंबर दिया गया. Okay, both of they had got the answer actually. Subaltern, any oppressed individual and one who is not represented in the history. So A and D is the right answer. Okay, Chandra Talpade's Under Western Eyes is a critic of the notion of third world women, subaltern women, marginalized women, and women as victims. Chandra Talpade's Under Western Eyes is a critique of the notion of third third world women. Okay, A is the right answer. Remember Under Western Eyes by Chandra Talpades. Third world women. No, it is actually third world women. Okay, now here is Are Not I a Women? Are Not I a Women is now a central text of black feminism, radical feminism, third world feminism, lesbian theory. Now first tell me who has written this work. It is by Southern Truth. Who wrote? It's by Southern, SOJOU. ठीक है, RNER, Truth, has written this work called Are Not I a Women? It's actually a central text of black feminism. Sojourner Truth, SOJOURNER. Are Not I a Women is a central text of black feminism. Black feminism is the right answer. Okay, now here is 43. The Spectres of Marx. The Spectres of Marx, okay, is written by who wrote this work called The Spectres of Marx? Now tell me, Louis Althusser. Okay, it is Louis Althusser, Raymond Williams, Jacques Derrida, Pierre Macquarie. किसने लिखा है The Spectres of Marx? This work is actually written by Jacques Derrida. Derrida has written The Spectres of Marx. This work was published in 1993. 1993. The Spectres of Marx by Jacques Derrida. Okay. No, no. It is Derrida. Which critic spoke in favor of an erotics of reading? Erotics of reading. Okay, one is pleasure, one is that is pleasure, and another is bliss. Dividing pleasure and bliss. So it is the pleasure of writing. It's a work by Rolla Barthes. Which critic spoke in favor of an erotics of reading? It is Rolla Barthes, the structuralist as well as the post-structuralist writer. Rolla Barthes spoke in favor of erotics of reading. It's Rolla Barthes. And what was the name of the text where he has given? The name of the text, the essay was The Pleasure of the Text. The pleasure of the text. This is the work where he has given. Chalo. The pleasure of the text. Gauri Viswanathan's work, Mask of Conquest. Gauri Viswanathan's work, Mask of Conquest, argues that English studies, okay, as the subject of study, was used to legitimate colonialism, to strengthen the colonial administration, to satisfy the demands of Christian missionaries, or to satisfy the demands of native elite. Mask of Conquest by Gauri Viswanathan. Here, all the four are correct actually. That is to satisfy the demands of the native elite, to satisfy the demands of Christian missionaries, to strengthen the colonial administration, and used to legitimate colonialism is the right answer. The problem with the prescriptive grammar is that it provides rules without exposure to actual use. This problem can be avoided by using a descriptive grammar, by totally avoiding teaching of rules, by using only the second language, by using grammar translation method. So by using a descriptive grammar, we can solve the problem with the prescriptive grammar. Descriptive grammar, prescriptive grammar. Chalo. A variation of language used in a particular class is known as, everybody will answer like this, dialect, but it's not dialect, it's sociolect, because sociolect is it's a part of dialect, but it's a non-standard dialect. Okay, a variation of language used in a particular class is known as sociolect. Sociolect is the right answer, and sociolect is actually, it's a non-standard dialect. Is a non-standard dialect. That's why I told that it's a part of dialect, but non-standard dialect. Which incident in Anna Karenina gives a foreboding of the unhappiness awaiting Anna and Vronsky? Dolly's visit, the steeplechase incident, the death of Nikolai, Kitty's first ball. It is actually the steeplechase incidents. Okay. What is common to poor folk, Les Miserables, Mother, and Germinal? These are all works. They are about the utopian novels. No, they are satires. They are about the unprivileged, about the industrial societies. They are all about the unprivileged. So you know, Poor Folk is a work by Dostoevsky, whereas Les Miserables is a work by Victor Hugo. Mother is a work by Maxim Gorky, and Germinal is a work by Emile Zola. Poor Folk is a by Dostoevsky, Fyodor Dostoevsky, whereas Les Miserables is a work by, I told that it's by Victor Hugo. It's by Victor Hugo. Chalo. Whereas Mother is a work by Maxim Gorky, and Germinal is a work by Emile Zola. Okay, so Emile Zola. That, and these all works are about unprivileged. Okay, characters can be found. So here C is the right answer. a vindication of natural diet that deals with vegetarianism and animal rights is known as Wordsworth. Animal rights is written by Wordsworth, John Keats, P.B. Shelley, Byron. So this work, a vindication of natural diet, okay, it is actually dealing with vegetarianism and animal rights. It is a work by P.B. Shelley. P.B. Shelley has written this work, and it is probably published in 1813. Published in 1813. P.B. Shelley. Chalo. Which word does Tolstoy War and Peace describe? Tolstoy War and Peace is describing World War One, World War Two, wherever it's actually describing Napoleon's invasion of Russia. So C is the right answer. Chekhov's play, The Cherry Orchard, is about revolution, the social change, war and violence. The Cherry Orchard by Anton Chekhov is about social change. It's about social change, where we will find that the rise of the middle class, what? The rise of the middle class, the rise of the middle class after the abolition of servitude, after the abolition of serfdom, after the abolition of serfdom, the rise of the middle class. And second thing is the decline of the power of aristocracy, decline of the power of aristocracy. Here we find the themes of cultural futility can be found, and the bourgeois themes of themes of cultural futility of bourgeois and the aristocratic. So it is actually about the social change. Cherry Orchard. Who is Dante's guide in his journey through hell in Inferno? So we have Inferno, we have Purgatorio, we have Paradiso. So in Inferno and in Purgatorio, who was the guide? It was actually Virgil. But in Paradiso, it was Beatrix. So it's Virgil is the right answer for the first two parts. Inferno and Inferno has 34 circle, and Paradiso, Purgatorio and Paradiso there are 33. Yeah, 33. No, 34 cantos exactly. So Dante's Divine Comedy is actually total has 100 cantos. First part has 34 cantos, second part 33, and the third part 33. First part is Inferno, second that is containing 34 cantos. Okay, so it's Virgil is the right answer. Virgil is actually was the guide, but the last part it was Beatrix. Who is the author of Institutio Oratorio? It's by Quintilian. Okay, the rhetorician. Rhetor means speech. In Greek, rhetor means speech. So speech is actually purgation, pity and fear. Public speaker, pardia. It's public speaker. The Storyteller is a work. It's an essay by Walter Benjamin. Walter Benjamin, published in 1936. The Storyteller. Art as technique, where defamiliarization was coined here. Art as technique, art as device. So this is a work by Victor Salbowski, the formalist writer. So 57 here. Now moving at to question number 58. Paul de Man, Stuart Hall, Michel Foucault, and Zizek. So we know Paul de Man, J.H. Miller, Geoffrey Hardman. They are all the disciple of Derrida, American disciples. Here Paul de Man is deconstructions. Stuart Hall is a cultural studies. Michel Foucault is associated with hermeneutics of subject. He has also given a lecture on that. And we have our Zizek, that is psychoanalysis. Okay. So Paul de Man is actually a deconstructionist. Zizek is a psychoanalysis. Stuart Hall, cultural studies. Michel Foucault, hermeneutics of subject. Tagore's Gora, this is regional literature from Bengali literature. Tagore's Gora, where Sucharita and Lalita belong to a Brahmo family, a Brahmin family, a Kayastha family, an Anglo-Indian family. So what would be the right answer? It's a Brahmo family. Okay, Sucharita and Lalita belong to a Brahmo family. A is the right answer. Which river flows by Malgudi in Arkan fiction? It is Saroj River. Walt Whitman's elegy on Lincoln's is When Lilacs Last in the Dooryard Bloomed is the right answer. The protagonist of Moby Dick is Captain Ahab, and the enemy of the white whale, Queen Quake, Isabel Bartleby Ahab. Captain Ahab is the right answer. Chalo. Now the mimic man, it is actually the who is the protagonist here. It's Ralph Singh. Okay, Ralph Singh, an Indo Caribbean Indo Caribbean Indo Caribbean character here. Indo Caribbean mimic man here. Indo Caribbean politician. It's by V.S. Naipaul, Mimic Man. Another important work, Eva Luna by Isabel Allende. It's a picaresque novel. The title or character is a Picaro, is a rogue hero. It's a picaresque novel. So it's a picaresque novel, Eva Luna by Isabel Allende. Got it? It's a first person point of view by the character, title or character. Which critic makes a distinction between readerly and writerly text? You all know Rolla Barthes in SZ. Which novel did T.S. Eliot admire for its mythical method? Using a mythical method was used in Ulysses. T.S. Eliot is admiring James Joyce's work. Point out the odd one. Aspects of the novel is a work by E.M. Foster. The craft of fiction, rhetoric of fiction, the well-wrought art. Okay, the craft. Who wrote the craft of fiction? It's by craft of fiction, Percy Lubick. Okay, whereas the rhetoric of fiction is a work by Wayne C. Booth, one of the new Aristotelian. Okay, Wayne C. Booth has written this work, the rhetoric of fiction. The well-wrought art, you all know, it's a work of new criticism, that is by Clint Brooks. So this is the odd one, whereas aspects of the novel by E.M. Foster. Craft of fiction is by that I told, that is Percy Lubbock. The craft of fiction. The odd one is it is actually related with new criticism. That's why this is the odd one. The title of the work of feminism, The Mad Women in the Attic. Mad Women in the Attic derives from a Greek myth about women's creativity, a story illustrated by Simon de Beauvoir, the novel Jane Eyre. The title has been taken from the novel Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Okay. Life is not a series of geek lamps symmetrically arranged. This statement is from an essay on the fiction, Virginia Woolf, B.M. Foster. This line appear in modern fiction. In modern fiction. So here the right answer, modern fiction, is an essay by Virginia Woolf. Chalo. Neatly, in Greece Carnates, the fire and the rain is a married tribal girl, a Brahmin girl, a housewife, an angel. What would be the right answer here? Neatly, in Greece Carnates, the fire and the mountain. Here it is actually Chalo. I think no one has. Okay, let's end it here. We'll conclude it in tomorrow's session. ठीक है, चलो.